Alright guys, what's going on? So today is my attempt at putting this spare tire delete plate in. This is my first attempt. I was actually like in the process of making a video the other day, and something to do with these lights in these LED lights in my garage. They really mess with the video. I don't know if you can like pick it up or not, but it doesn't really do it there. But for whatever reason, I had like a bunch of footage that I filmed, and these lights were like really bothering with it. You can kind of see it, but whatever. Anyways, so learned that the hard way. Plus, it's kind of worked out in my advantage because I messed this panel up when I was cutting it out, and I measured a little too short. And, you know that rule, measure twice. So I ended up tracing another piece, and I probably ended up having to do it actually in two pieces because the original piece of cutout was like used up most of my metal. So whatever. This is 16 gauge. It's a little thicker than I'd like it to be, so it really doesn't like bend very easy. I don't know if you notice here, I bent a flange. I don't have a brake, so I'm kind of just hand bending it. It's not going to be the prettiest, but it'll be all right, man. This ain't no damn show car anyways. So I was in the process of making it. Messed the first one up. Then my brother stopped by, needed some help with his brakes, so that little one, I'll help you out, brother, fucking turned into all day. You know how that shit goes. So a couple days went by, and I figured I'd get back to it. I'm not gonna bore you with a time lapse of cutting this out. I just use a angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. There's plenty of other things, not really for this thick of metal. I think the cutoff wheel works the best. I don't really like the air cutoff because it's pretty slow. I mean, I got a big 60-gallon compressor, two-phase. It's still pretty slow. It bogs it down a lot. The electric one works pretty good. I'm gonna cut this out. I'll probably fade it back in when I'm doing a little bit of fitting, and then maybe do a little time lapse with the welding. There ain't too much to this, man. So it's not really a how-to, but because I just kind of learn as I go. So self-taught. Anything I do, man. Whether it's working on bikes, cars, in the house, I do it all. So I also want to give a little kind of like a background on this, the channel name. I ended up changing it to Drunk Uncle Racing. It's kind of like an inside joke with my family. I got an uncle who drinks a lot, and he's a master mechanic. These are actually a lot of his toolboxes right here. He took a leave of absence. I'm sure you guys can fill in the blanks. Gets a little drunk every now and then, but whatever. He's a smart guy. He just, how people who drink a little bit too much are. They're smart when they're sober. When they're not sober, they're complete idiots. But so the channel's like kind of named after him, but it's kind of just like me and my brother kind of made it up. We were joking around one day, and but he's like our go-to guy when we need to know some shit. He specializes in electrical, and taught me a lot of shit. I'm not like really that great with electrical, and like I said, I'm pretty much self-taught. But he, like, if I ever need some sort of information, as much as I hate to admit it, he's pretty damn smart. So I'm sure I'll get him on the channel one of these days when he gets back home. So I'll fade it back, and once I get a little more work done on this, I'll cut this panel out. You see I traced it, and yeah. So anyways, until then, guys. Alright guys, so I faded it back. I got this cut out. I got it fit. I'm gonna grind the edges down. Just clean it up to bare metal. They put this little coating on. You can really barely even tell it's there, but yeah, so there's a little coating. I kind of traced it on this. I made it overlap. I could have butt welded it, but fuck all that. once I put seam sealer on, nobody's gonna know if I butt welded or not. It's not like it's on a body panel, you know, like an outer body panel. So I'm gonna clean this up. You can't really see the marker. I can't really see it either. I need to get some white markers or something working in this black paint. But anywho, I'm gonna clean this up, clean that up. I'll probably do a little time lapse of me welding. I don't really know. This is my first time really having like the GoPro, so I don't really know how it does with welding, if it'll mess the footage up. It's gonna be a lot of time welding, so you know, not really too worried about it warping, because this really won't warp like you think. I'm more worried about burning through, so I have to take my time with it. But anyways, all right, I'll clean this up. That ain't gonna bore you with that. And then once I get it fit in, I'll tack it a couple times. Probably have to do a little persuading with this hammer a little bit to make it fit the way I like it in a few spots, but that's all right, ain't no big deal. So all right, I'll get back to you guys in a minute. All right guys, I'm fading back in. Just got this all cleaned up. Let me turn my welder on. It takes a minute to boot up, but I just got this all cleaned up, and as clean as I can fucking get it. You know, I use a couple, like for this, there's a couple different things to clean the metal up, because there's like some rough edges. So I use a wire wheel. I use one of these stones, these little stone discs or whatever. And then I also use one of these little roll-lock things on the 90. And then from there, you know, the one thing about the roll-lock is like you got to have like a really flat surface. As soon as you hit like an edge, it'll rip the roll-lock apart. So that's usually like, I'll hit it with a couple different things. You know, usually I hit it with the wire wheel, or I'll hit it with the stone first. Then I'll wire wheel it. Then I'll hit the roll-lock, because the roll-lock really, it really cleans it really takes the metal down to like a really smooth, like clean surface. So I usually do it that way. Anyways, so this is my welder. I'm gonna do a review on it pretty soon as well. So this is my Millermatic 215. It does MIG, TIG, and a MIG, TIG, and arc welding, whatever, stick welding. It's like all digital, you know. I don't know how well you can pick up on there. It might focus. I don't know. Can't really see. But so you just do the wire size. This is the wire feed rate. And then this is the metal thickness. You could just change it. So I'm doing like 16. I'm welding, I think it's, whatever this is, I believe it's 20. I'll check it, recheck it, and redo the settings to like 16 gauge. So I'm probably just put it at 18 gauge, kind of go in between. I'd rather be a little too cold than way too hot and burn through. I'll probably have to adjust that as well. We'll see once I do a couple tacks on it. So I'm gonna put you guys on a time lapse, and then, you know, maybe I'll do a couple like close-ups. I'm not a great welder, so don't judge me, guys. But yeah, I'll put you on a time lapse. I'll get it tacked in, put you on like a little time lapse or something. I don't know, I'll just freehand it, but I'll fade it back in a minute. Alright guys, as you can see in the time lapse, I did a little welding, spot welding really. I ain't like measuring it precisely. I just spot welded about half of this down, or tack welded, not spot welded, whatever, same shit. I'm gonna work my way around and then probably form this a little bit too. This I'll probably have to cut, I think, a little piece off. Will have to get cut. then you know, I'll keep doing that, work my way around, and then you can see there's a little gap here. You know, I'll work my way around, get it pretty much in, and then I'll close. I'll kind of like stitch weld it. I guess would be the term you'd call it, stitch weld it. You don't want to do beads on this, even though you're not really too worried about warpage so much because it's a trunk, and it really doesn't matter if there's a slight wave in it. This metal is thin. This, I think. Let me see if I can't find my little metal gauge thing. I think the metal in the trunk, as well as like the original metal in the floor pan, is like 22 gauge. This right here, 16. So this is, let me see. Yeah. So this is like 16. Really, man, that's even, shit, it's even a little thicker than that. So this right here is, it's like 20, somewhere around there. It's like 20 gauge, man. It's pretty thin. Yeah, it's like 20. That's probably even doubled up. So that might, you know, whatever. But so you can't really do beads on it. It just kind of is what it is, man. It's time consuming. It takes its time, but everything about building a car is time consuming. So remember that. If you think you're gonna build a car in a weekend, this is not Power Nation or Detroit Muscle or any of that shit. That ain't gonna happen. I probably got about a year in this car already, and looks like a piece of shit still, doesn't it? It's because it is. But one day, maybe a year, maybe two, it'll be something. So anyways, I'm gonna fade it back to the time lapse, do some more forming. I would do like a live, or not live, but a video with sound, man. But you ain't really gonna be able to hear shit. It's gonna be loud, a bunch of banging. So might as well just do the time lapse. All right, I'll fade it back. So I did a little bit more welding and hammering, as you can see in the time lapse. I keep catching this seam sealer on fire. It's pretty funny, you know. So basically, I'm gonna probably wire wheel a little more too. Just it's kind of a process. It's a lot in your prep. I thought I had all the areas I was welding grounded down, but as this thing sat in here a little better, and it's kind of sat in a little deeper, and it's starting to like sit down in there a little more. So whatever, ain't no big deal. Spend a couple minutes wire wheeling it. So let me fade back to the time lapse. Just figure I'd give you a little update. I know you guys love hearing my voice and all my stuttering, because you know I just freehand this shit. So all right, I'll fade it back to the time lapse though. What's going on, guys? Alright, so I'm back at it. Did a bunch of welds. Obviously ain't the prettiest. I ain't a good welder. This welder makes me better than what I was though, that's for sure. But see, I did a bunch of series of just tack welds all over. Kind of beat it down. I'm gonna start on this side. Probably not today. My camera's about to die. I'll fade this video back in probably tomorrow. I'm kind of tired. It's cold out. I've been breathing all this seam sealer in. It's been catching on fire, and you can see in the time lapse, like every couple welds, I use the wire brush and I kind of put it out and kind of try to like spread it because it heats the seam sealer up and melts it off. So I'll fade it back in tomorrow once I get started on this part. So alright, until then, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back at it. Like a crack addict. Can't keep me out this fucking garage. I don't give a fuck how cold it is. Let me see what this little thing says. 35 in here. That ain't shit. We're used to this shit. Alright, so today I'm going to get this little piece cut out. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, man. You know, that's about all I can do. I got this. This is like nowhere near where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna have to do some measuring and some cutting. Some all kinds of shit, some trickery, man, some witchcraft. But I'll get it together. Yeah, I was tired as fuck yesterday, so took a little break and then go inside and going to sleep. All right, I'll do a time lapse cutting this since you know, it's what I do best. All right, you see that didn't take very long. I got this thing somewhat in here. Kind of have to. I'm gonna have to trim that edge a little bit. I'm gonna tack it after I trim that edge, and then I'll kind of form the other end, or the lip. Have to form it to bend back a little bit. Not a big deal. So I'll do that, and I'll you know, fade it back in, or I'll probably do a time lapse of tacking it and all that, and then I'll fade it back as I get a little more progress. So alright, I'll talk to you in a minute. Alright, guys, so this is basically it. I mean, I'm gonna go through and do a couple more welds and bend that little flange a little more and kind of form it to it. Do probably some more tack welds, whatever, but just figure I'd give you the gist of it. I'll probably end up fading it back when I'm done and give you a final. Yeah, I wish I could like do like a real time with it. This would be like a 3-hour video. You know, this takes time, and I have to actually use like a respirator too, because man, I was breathing a lot of this burnt seam sealer in yesterday, man. Fuck my lungs up. So today I was using my little Harbor Freight respirator. Don't really do much, but As you can see, it gets a little smoky in here. Helps a little bit. So anyways, I'll fade back when I'm done. I'm not gonna do a time lapse and bore you guys. It's pretty much what I've been doing, just tacking and bouncing around and hammering a little bit here and there to try to bend the flange and make it stick and fill the gaps a little bit. I may end up going underneath too and hammering a little bit and doing a little bit of tacking under there, try to fill some of the gaps, but you know, whatever. Actually, let me see, I'll turn my light on. You might be able to see a little better. There is some light leaks. So it's definitely not done. Could probably go underneath. So I'll probably do some of that too. I'm not gonna bore you with it. I'll do a little outro when I'm done doing this. Till then, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I took like a break for like a day or two because, you know, I was tired of shit last time I was out here cold. Went inside, slept for a bunch of hours. So it's like a couple days later, but I actually just started finishing welding this. I had to go behind this. The metal, I was trying to hammer that and dented the metal a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. You really won't notice it. I went around and did a shitload of these tack welds. I'm gonna probably grind it down. Maybe clean it up a little bit. Underneath has already started surface rusting a little bit, so I'll go up under here and probably just kind of wire brush it real quick. And then I'm gonna hit it with the little rust converter shit, and now I'll just spray over it. But I'm definitely gonna clean these welds just a tad. I mean, they don't need to be super fucking pretty anyways. It's not really like a part of the fucking car that's really ever going to be seen. I know a lot of people, man, they want their welds to be seamless. I'd do that if I was doing like some actual body work. This is just, you know, I mean, I'm not going to do all that, man. I mean, I could, but there's really no fucking point. So I'm just going to clean these up a little bit. I don't know, I might throw a little clip in afterwards, possibly. Just depends. I'll probably just wrap this video up here. I'll probably throw a picture or a clip in of when it's completely done though. But yeah, if you guys, man, could like, subscribe, comment, share my videos, man. I'm really, you know, I like this YouTube situation a lot. I don't know, man, you know, show a brother some love. Don't worry about my big old doggy over there. He's just hanging out in the garage. That's Big Lou. He's a shop doggy. So anyways, until the next video, guys, you guys have a good one. Alright guys, here's the final product. The rust converter's still drying. See, I ground the welds down, but I didn't go too crazy. You can still see them. I don't think it's necessary, like I was saying in the last little clip, but I don't think it's really necessary to grind them completely flat. I'm gonna put seam sealer over this shit anyways, so it'll kind of fill it out. As you can see, all throughout the factory, there's seam sealer all over the place. This is seam sealer right here. They don't do the greatest job with seam sealer from the factory, so I mean, after I put seam sealer over this, you'll never even know. So, alright guys, anyways, like I said, like, subscribe, and share, man. Really appreciate it. You know, show some other car guys too, man. Trying to get this channel to take off. So until next video, have a good one.